Hello and welcome to another wonderful time again. It's time for us to talk sport on global television, coming to you live and direct from the nation's capital, Abuja, Nigeria. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo, and I am right here to bring you to speed with actions from the world of sport. I know what's in your mind. Should I tell you what it is? The Champions League, of course, and I won't stop to give you details about how it actually went down. Well, for some it was a disappointing time. For other persons it was a time of joy and jubilation. But as a matter of fact, I belong to the winning team. Any team that wins, that's where I belong. Don't hold me to it. All right, I'm going to be talking about golf today specifically. But then before we get into the discussion proper, let me take you through some major stories from the world of sport, beginning from the actions that came from the Champions League yesterday. I'm just going to give you a roundup of the whole situation. Liverpool, of course, hold Atletico, and of course Bayern were able to trash Chelsea. A lot of people are so interested in the trashing of Chelsea, but then I'll tell you the reason why. Even Chelsea fans and Chelsea players have accepted the defeat with their full chest, because before they get option. All right, let's get into some major details right now. As a matter of fact, match day 2 of this season's Champions League was actually went down. It went down yesterday, and it produced some intriguing results. I call it intriguing because some people never saw it coming across Europe. It happened last night as Liverpool were able to come in, and that action actually gets started on a very beautiful note with a later Virgil van Dijk's header, which edged Atletico Madrid 3-2 at Anfield. Well, that was a very beautiful one. Then, as a matter of fact, the Premier League champions had raced into a 2-goal lead through Andy Robertson and of course Mohamed Salah, the magic man, of course. However, Atletico fought back to level the match with what I call Marcos Llorente scoring twice, and those 2 goals actually made a difference for the team. Bayern Munich on their own part outclassed Chelsea. A lot of people never saw it coming, but then that match ended in a woeful defeat. I call it a woeful and embarrassing defeat, and I'll tell you the reason why. Because as a matter of fact, Chelsea never saw it coming, and that game was a very fantastic one. 3-1 was how that game actually ended. And as a matter of fact, let's talk about a coach. I'm talking about a coach right now. Jose Mourinho is the person that I'm talking about right now, because he's about making a decision. And as a matter of fact, let me bring you to speed with certain things right now. As a matter of fact, Jose Mourinho is a man that chose to do his things the way he really wants it done. Why am I saying this? This is one coach that has a pedigree, as a matter of fact. And of course, you could also remember when Jose Mourinho was in Chelsea, you know, all the kind of names that he called himself. And he's one coach that has actually made a mark for himself. And right now, as I speak to you, I'm moving away from the defeat of Chelsea yesterday, where they lost in Germany with Harry Kane netting a brace for Vincent Kompany's side. Of course, reigning champions Paris Saint-Germain also on their own part trash Atlanta 2-0 in the earlier fixture. And of course, debutant Bravo actually was the one who did some part of the magic, and the brace actually secured them a 2-0 victory for Inter Milan at Ajax. Now let's go back to Jose Mourinho. You can't talk about this game without talking about the decision of Jose Mourinho. But then, before I talk about Jose Mourinho, it won't be fine if I don't talk about Harry Kane. My God, my God. Do you watch what happened yesterday? A record was actually being broken. David Beckham's record was actually being broken as the Bayern Munich striker, talking about Harry Kane, was able to break the countryman David Beckham's Champions League scoring record. How did it happen? Was it a magic? If you got it, you got it. That's what I feel. And of course, Kane was able to accomplish the feat after scoring twice in Chelsea's 3-1 victory over Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena yesterday night. Kane's strike against Chelsea brought his total goal contribution in the Champions League to 53. That is 42 goals and 11 assists so far, a record for an English player in the competition's history. Beckham had held the record with his 52 I beg your pardon, goals contribution during his career as a professional footballer while playing for the likes of Manchester United, Real Madrid, and even Paris Saint-Germain. But then, so good that Harry Kane has broken that record. Now, I want to talk about Jose Mourinho. A lot of people are expecting to hear what I would say about Jose Mourinho. As a matter of fact, Mourinho confirmed next club that he will be coaching. A lot of people say Mourinho talk too much, but then when you know your onions, sometimes you want to express yourself. My God, my God. Well, Jose Mourinho has already dropped out the biggest hit so far that he will become the next manager of Benfica. What are you thinking? He's 62-year-old right now as we speak, and of course he was being sacked by Fenerbahce. One thing with Jose Mourinho, if you watch carefully, he doesn't lack clubs. All right, club to go, where to coach, he doesn't lack it at all. But then moving away from there, let's quickly come back home. Charity, they say, begins at home. Can we talk a little bit about the Wafu B under 17 boys? They are making us proud. As a matter of fact, talking about the Golden Eaglets who have already arrived Cote d'Ivoire. They are 5-time world champions. You know, easy. Anybody that makes it happen, you give it to the person. And as a matter of fact, the Golden Eaglets of Nigeria have arrived Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire on their way to the city of course, Yamoussoukro for the year's Wafubi under the 17 boys tournament. And of course, the leagues will begin their campaign against the baby Cheetahs of Benin Republic on Wednesday. That match actually went down. But as a matter of fact, let's move away from there and go to the National Sport Festival. I'm bringing you some stories. I've already told us where our focus is going to be today. That's one area that a lot of people don't talk about, but we are going to be talking about it today, giving you an insight because I have a professional in the studio here. Just keep your fingers crossed, and of course I'll stay very close. The National Sport Festival, MOC and LOC, they are meeting, talking about the organizing committee that is the main organizing committee and the local organizing committee have had their meeting for the Enugu 2026 local city games. They held a very strategic engagement meeting to advance preparations for the game via Zoom, and that has happened already, and we're waiting for the outcome of that because a lot of people are looking forward to that game. Moving away from there, let's go to the main issue that we will be talking about today. But before we get into discussing golf in Nigeria, in Africa, how it has been, well, let me just bring you to speed with this story that 80 golfers for Nigeria Maritime Golf Challenge at Ikoyi Club will be holding it down, and the Nigerian Maritime Golf Challenge, that is NMGC, is already scheduled to take place today at the Ikoyi Club, Lagos, to commemorate the World Maritime Day scheduled for September 25th under the theme, Our Ocean, Our Obligation, and of course our opportunity. And they will showcase Nigeria's maritime industry through sport. You know, a lot of people are taking advantage of so many things now through sport. That's to tell you that sport is life. It's either you do sport or you are not doing anything. As a matter of fact, let me just give you a little breakdown that a total of 80 golfers have already registered and confirmed their participation in the championship. And the tournament will actually feature 7 competitive categories. Of course, I won't be able to go into all of that now. Today, I want to look at golf in Nigeria as a whole. And I have a guest in the studio who is going to be sharing his experience with us and telling us a lot about the game of golf. What you don't know about golf, You will know it today. Let's go on a quick break. After this break, I will introduce to you who my guest is as we talk golf this morning. Stay with us. It is Talk Sports. Welcome back from that break. Let's go into talking golf this morning. It is Talk Sport, and we are talking golf on Talk Sport this morning. And of course, I told you I have an expert, a professional. You know, there is this belief, the chairman told me it's not a belief, that it is a reality that people who play golf are people of integrity, men and women of integrity. So we have right here in the studio the chairman, FCT Golf Association, in the person of Akabong Enebong. It's good to have you on the program today.
Hello, Ramsey. Good morning, and it's nice to be here, Ramsey.
Thank you very much. Let's get started from some very basic things. You know, a lot of people don't know much about golf in Nigeria. We'll talk about Nigeria before we get out of the shores of Nigeria. So, how would you describe the current state of golf in Nigeria?
Okay, right now, golf is in a developing stage. And it's developing faster than it was 20, 15, 10 years ago. You know, we use FCT as a benchmark. Many years ago, there was only one golf course in FCT, the IBB Golf Club. But right now we have 5 more about that. And the armed forces have done so well. You know, they are the ones really pushing golf course. The Navy has a course, the military army has a course, the Air Force has a course. So they are also very, very instrumental in the growth of golf. Golf is developing, but there's a lot more to be done in it for it to get to the value of football or basketball.
All right, to get to the value of football or basketball. What about Africa? Is it different? Is it a different ball game, or is still developing in Africa?
In Africa, it's a developing sport. The only part of Africa that golf has become pole position is South Africa. You know, South Africa has gained international regulation with golf, and a lot of very major events are held in South Africa, and that's also because of the available of golf infrastructure. So it's been South Africa has been able to lead us in the golf environment. But I dare say that Nigeria should be the next one after South Africa in Africa. We have the second most professionals in Nigeria.
Wow.
In Africa.
Wow.
After South Africa, yes.
That's good. That's good.
Yes.
Who is eligible, all right, to play golf? Because I know golf is some kind of game. I've had the opportunity to interview some very little kids from the David Mark golf course in Otupo, you know, and how they go out of the shores of Nigeria and make Nigeria proud and all of that. So who can be part of this golf?
Anyone with an interest in golf can be part of golf, you know. Like you started with, there used to be a notion that golf is elitist, and right now I'd like to educate the public that golf has become an Olympic sport, which means it's been opened up to everybody, and there are much more golf courses in the world, more golf equipment. Golf is more accessible than before. So right now, it's just an interest. What we need to do in Nigeria is spread the gospel that golf is available for all to join. You know, so it's anybody who is ready, has a passion and interest in golf can join. The lady captains of most of these golf clubs have done very well there. They catch them young. They start them from very young and groom them. And the association, FCT Golf Association, we've started a golf to school program which we launched, you know, and that's because we're trying to follow the renewed hope agenda of making sports a business, of taking sports to school, to groom them from that age and get them ready for the next Olympics.
All right. I know, as a chairman, you should be acquainted with some of the challenges that this sport has faced historically. Can you enlighten the public about maybe some of the challenges?
Okay. I was flying someday, and I was trying to convince someone sitting beside me to play golf. And he said, "Why is golf so expensive?" And I told him, I thought about it and I said, first of all, you need about 50 to 100 hectares in a vantage location of land. So I think that's the first challenge of golf. The land it acquires is a lot. So, and to acquire 100 hectares of land in a good location, it's not cheap. You know, an accessible location where people can, wherever it is, whether it's in a suburb, whether it's in the main city, but at least an accessible location where people have access to transport themselves there. So that's the first problem, is the availability or accessibility of land, which is where government and owners of land property can come in and assist. My advice or my approach now is universities especially, which are institutes of learning, because sports and education come together. You know, you need to unwind, or you need to recreate to be able to do better in class. So I'm trying to preach to people like University of Abuja that from your massive land, let's do a partnership, let's seed some of it and do a golf course there, because they already have land. So it's easier than going to government directly to go and apply for. So if people like that come and are willing to work, ABU, University of Abuja, you know, Uniben, all those, Uniben, I think Uniben has. You know, Uniben has a golf course. So universities started doing it. It's UBTH. I think that's the medical part of it, which is like the university. So I'm using that platform now to tell them that, look, if you go to some places, universities are getting involved in golf development. So first of all is the land, and of course finance to develop golf. And when it comes to finance, private companies, I'm preaching for the big companies, especially now I'm looking at fintech companies. You know, they are making a lot of money right now. Digital companies are making a lot of money. Before it used to be only Coca-Cola, Pepsi and old companies, but now these digital companies are making a lot of money. So I'm really angling for them to support the sport. So basically land is the first problem. Then we have finance to design, build. I think those are the challenges we have.
I think this is quite interesting to me, because I think this is all about an understanding of what is in for these universities and these fintech companies. Because like you said already, I have deduced that golf can generate a lot of income. You know, as a matter of fact, when you go to play it outside, you win prizes. A lot of things are being won, and coming in partnership with you or with the actors to actually have the golf course in these schools, I feel it will also benefit the school too, because one is going to put the school in a spotlight. You know what it means to have a beautiful golf course, and you see people from all over, or maybe there's a competition being hosted in Nigeria and your school is being listed as one of the venues. I think it will put the school in a spotlight. Then moving away from there, let's talk about infrastructure a little bit. You just talked about the fact that the golf facilities, all right, in Nigeria, what is the standard like? Like I was talking about competition just now, there are some golf courses that you may want to point out and say, wow, this is international standard. Any competition, peradventure, there is a game in Nigeria, we can use this place as a good one. So what do you have to say about the standard of our golf course in Nigeria?
Before I go to the standard, there's something I'd like to say about the last topic. Number one, I'd like to mention that there are a lot of, from the Abuja Master Plan, there are sites that were allocated for golf.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And they have been used for other purposes. And there are a lot of golf estates coming up now. They go and they ask for land for golf estates. They approve golf estates to them, and they just build it up like, build up houses and sell. We are going to speak to people like that and encourage them that if you are meant to have a golf course in a particular area, we are going to appeal to the minister to enforce that a golf course is going to be put in that area. Then, talking about branding for these universities, I think we should deal with that as a separate topic, because I like to talk about the benefits of golf and what golf accrues. So I belong to a group called City Riders Golf Club. We travel around the world to play golf. So we'll come back to that. Let me attend to your question. Now, for the golf courses that in Nigeria that are good, we have Lakowe, which is in Lagos. We use a fantastic golf course. We have IBB Golf Club, of course, which is one of the best known. And at least those three I know are very, very good.
International standard?
Yes, international standard. If you want a game there to play in Nigeria, those are the first three golf courses that we can go and play. Abuja IBB Golf Club, the Lakowe Resort, and the Igbo Nikon Golf Club. They are very good golf courses.
So now, let me ask a question.
Yes.
Because the reason why I'm asking this question is because I want the public to have an eye-opener that there is need to invest in sport in Nigeria, so that we don't envy what other people are doing outside. Now, we just talked about fintech and multinational companies that can do a private partnership program and invest in building golf courses. Now, what does it take? What makes a golf course international standard, like you mentioned this one now, so that anyone who have the intentions, of partnership or probably putting up a golf course in Nigeria would know what to do. So what do you look out for in these places that you mentioned that makes that golf course qualify to be of an international standard?
Okay, first of all, for you to have a golf resort, I call it, is you must have a minimum of about 150 to 200 hectares of land. Now, when you have this, you can have about 27 holes, no more 18 holes, so that you can renovate a 9-hole or work on a 9 holes while the other 18 holes are in play. So it's with the way we're going, the world goes now, you should have about at least 27 holes so that people can use an 18 at per time for that. Then you need to buy good equipment, John Deere machines and machines like that. John Deere is a popular machine for golf maintenance. They make golf equipment. So you need to make sure you have good fairways, good greens, nice car park, nice clubhouse, the showers are good. Then most of the time you need a resort, a hotel or something, so when people come in, they can check in a good environment and stay there. Well, of course, airports are important. And thank God most of our cities now have airports, because without airports you can't get people to fly in and use your facilities. So you need a good golf architect who will come, take the topography of the area, design the golf, and just the challenges on the land to play. Every golf course seems to have like a signature hole. Like if you go to Ibom, there's hole 12, which is like down in valley. When you tee off the ball, even if you look down, if you have problem with height, You know, you may even stumble. You know, so you take the unique feature of the land and build a golf course. And so those are the things to come in consideration. You know, the land, the environment, the grass, the green. The green is very important, the fairway is important, the rough, the challenges, and safety, so that balls don't cross and hit people. When people are on a particular hole, they deal with that hole. If balls are not flying across, you know, because safety now is very important too. So when it comes, and the benefits of golf, you know, golf is in Nigeria, we do not know the value. Like I said, I belong to IBB Golf Club and the TYB, IBB Golf Club especially. We used to organize a lot of travel. So many years ago, I used to be in charge of traveling, taking Nigerians out to the country to travel. I've been to maybe about 30 countries to play golf. And I'm aware that in Nigeria, we do not know the power of golf. There are countries I've been to, like Malawi, where the president, hearing that we were in a particular hotel, he drove there to receive us.
The president himself.
Bingo.
He must be a golfer.
He wasn't a golfer.
He wasn't a golfer.
No, but when he saw a list of 30 people, including generals, ministers, doctors, accountants, big businessmen, professionals, he was wondering, what are all these people doing in my country? You know, and they told him he went to play golf. He was shocked. He actually drove there to verify. Right now, we're going to Maputo with City Riders, you know, and the president, the Nigerians are people having visas. They're not giving Nigerians visas to go there. It's not, we're banned on site. But right now, the president has given an approval to give us visas. So imagine if Dan is behind us, right? And we're breaking into. So golf breaks into bounds that you can't imagine. It attracts attention from where you can't imagine. So if you put money in golf, you make your money back triple fold. I'm glad that the DJ of NIS, the Comrade Philip Tribal, is leading us now in a conference for golf as business. You know, for many years we've been seeing golf as a recreation. You know, but now we're trying to make like it's a $600 billion business, and we don't have a big share in it. Yes, as Giants of Africa, we're supposed to have a big stake in the golf economy in the world generally. So we need to reposition ourselves and be ready to take a big part of the pie from this $600 billion business.
Oh my God. I'm falling in love with the game of golf. But something is very vital here. You know, you just said something and it boosted my morale. And that's the fact that our economy need a lot of businesses, especially in the area of sport, all right, to pick up from where we are today, looking at the kind of economy that we have. Now, what is the level of orientation? You're saying this now. A lot of people don't know about these things that you're saying. So, as the chairman of the FCT Golf Association, what is the level of awareness creation? Because if I'm not hearing now, or probably someone who is watching television right now, they may not know.
But well, you know, coming from where we were has been difficult, but I think we've moved. As chairman of FCT, I can tell you now, the last sports festival that happened in Gateway in Ogun State, we won 8 medals. 2 gold, 5 silver, 2 bronze. Just because of the push that my board is having now in FCT. You know, we took ourselves up because we are pushing the gospel of golf. Now, in the last youth games too, we won 2 golds and 2 silver in golf. So with just this energy and this vibe that we're inserting into golf, I'm already seeing the response. Our coaches are more interested and more enthusiastic about their effect, and people are generally getting aware. The clubs are encouraging us as well. You know, TYB gave us a space to train our athletes for NSF. You know, and we're trying to preach the gospel. We're happy for Global TV who are giving us the opportunity to be here, because things like this, we need to do this regularly. You know, to do this regularly and get our minister and other people interested so that we can push the golf forward. And we're lucky to have the commission now. You know, one of the things we're trying to do, like in Abuja, in FCT, our push is I think we are pushing to have a commission in FCT2 for sports. So that sports just stops being just a department and becomes business of its own, because the bureaucracy of government can stagnate the growth of sports. So we're trying to get out of that envelope so we can operate properly. You know, so we're preaching the gospel, and definitely anything that you put constant effort always brings result. That I know.
Sure.
So I'm keen on pushing and staying in the game. I'm not going anywhere. So I'm going to be here. I'm going to keep on pushing. And as long as this is a sector, we'll get to the top.
Get to the top. I like that determination. I like that. This is where we are, and we will get to the top. That is a big determination, and of course, so many revelations about the game of golf right now. Let's go on a quick break. When we return, we'll engage more as it has to do with golf as a sport in Nigeria, where we are, where we expect to be, what we need to do, and how we need to do it. Having the FCT chairman of Golf Association right here as my guest. TalkSport will return after this break. Stay with us. Well, you can finish talking about golf. Golf is a game that a lot of people don't know much about, but thank God that we are already having a comprehensive revelation on what the sport called golf is all about. Now, let's quickly get to some questions. Right with me in the studio here is the chairman of FCT Golf Association, and we are discussing in the person of Akabom Enebong, and he is already making a lot of revelation. One thing is accessibility. We're talking now. A lot of people outside there may be picking interest, all right, already. Then some persons are already golfers. But let's talk about accessibility right now as it is, because one thing is to be able to access these golf courses that we have in FCT in Lagos. I have a friend in Lagos, a very big officer in the Nigeria Custom, who is a captain also of a golf course.
Okay.
And of course, ever since then, his life has not remained the same. No. So many things come with the game. Now, yes, let's talk about accessibility now. How accessible are golf courses to an average Nigerian?
Okay, the ones that are available are accessible. Now, what we now need is for more golf courses in different areas. Like, you take the 6 area councils of FCT. Many area councils don't have any golf course. So now the distance to come from Kwali to play golf in Abuja main is too far. So we should now take golf courses to Kuje, Gwagwalada, Abaji. You know, those are what we should start thinking about. You know, Ushafa, you know, and thank God the Honorable Minister is giving us roads to those places. And you know, like he always says, to get to the place, you first build roads. Anytime they harass him on education and not investing on that, he tells them he's going to get there. But even if he builds a hospital for you in that place, if there's no road, you can't get there, which I buy that. So right now, the infrastructure being roads are being there. If you go to Shafa, the new road is wonderful. You go to the Kujo Golaya road, you know. So since we now have those roads, it's about time now to take advantage and put golf courses in those areas. You know, people that around there, not all golf have to be 5-star. Right, I went to Shagamu. I played on the Shagamu golf course, which is owned by the cement factory there. You know, Iwekoro, you know, that cement factory there at Lafarge. And Lafarge owns some golf courses in that Ogun State. I think 2, you know, Iwekoro and Shagamu. That's a good golf course. It's normal. If you go to the GJ golf course on the airport road, that's okay. If we can have that standard around the whole country, then a few 5-star golf courses, I think we'll sort that out. So for accessibility, we just need to build more golf courses. Maybe even 9 holes. Some even range, just a golf range. You range is where you practice. So you put a range, in schools can come up with ranges, or small, like in Uyo, there is this wonderful par 3, 9-hole par 3 golf course Arise that the governor just did. I played there. Fantastic golf, a small location, small area, right in the center of the town. It's a par 3. What you call all the holes are par 3 instead of par 4 or par 5. All these are par 5 and par 9. I can light them up, like in Dubai, so that you can play. And now with solar systems, you can light these places up. You don't need NEPA. You know, you light the places up. So we just need to build, you know, basic golf courses around the whole city. So that will help accessibility, and I think that can be done in the next few years if we face it.
All right, you're making people. The implication of what talking about golf now is making, number one, making people interested in the game.
That's the whole idea.
Then there is one thing again, and that is the issue of how young talent, in golf are being discovered and nurtured. It's one thing to discover them.
Yes.
I made mention of David Mark Golf Course, Otupo. I've been there severally for tournaments, and there are set of kids that are being nurtured from there. And I tell you, a lot of them, all right, go outside the shores of Nigeria and they take first, second, third positions with the money, the prize money is amazing. So now let's talk about nurturing these talents, in case anyone is interested, or maybe the talents that we have already.
Okay, the former Senate President, David Mark, is a golf patron. I know him very well. He used to play in IBB with us. And St. Mark Golf Club, that's what it's called. It's a place I've been to severally. And even if you come to all our children clinics, the Otupo players win most of the tournaments, like you're correct. So going back to what I'm saying, you see the way that St. Mark Golf Course is in Otupo, if you plan things like that in Kwali, Abaji, Ilokwela, it will now be accessible to the children. Now you can now use that, take them from school there, it's accessible, it's near them, from school there, and before you know, after a few weeks, you are able to identify who has a talent in the game of golf. By the time you know practice, then you now extract those people and now pump more into them. So, like I said, it goes together. That is why the association I am heading is doing this golf to school program. So we are doing a small mobile training for them. You know what I mean? Mobile. We move it from school to school, so we identify the talents. Then when we identify talents, we can now pick them up from there and now take them into a golf course now, and now find a way to train them. You know, but golf is difficult because first of all, unlike a team, it's an individual sport. So you know, each person has to be attended to. That's the question I wanted to ask first, because it will take a number of coaches, a number of facilities, and all of that. So how do you handle those challenges? Because do we have enough, let's say, academies, coaches, and training programs dedicated, all right, to golf development in Nigeria first? Well, we don't have enough, definitely. We don't have enough, definitely. But surprisingly, we have a lot of golf professionals. A lot. These are professional golf association. Keep graduating professionals for us. So we do not have a shortage of professionals from my own point of view, because we're not even maximizing them. We just have them loitering around and not really being engaged. So that's why we need these courses to be built, so that these young professionals can be engaged and earn a living and grow the golf economy. You know. Like I said earlier on, the lady captains of golf courses have done very well, because they are always in charge of the youth clinic. So during the long holidays or during the Easter breaks, they set up clinics and kids go in there, and from there, kids generate interest or moving forward the game of golf. And I'm also working closely with the NGF, Nigeria Golf Federation, or Tubarusewe, who is our golf president. You know, and he has this golf signature spot in West State too, which he has built for golf development as well. So we need more of things like that around. It's not a big place, but it does the job. So we need more of golf infrastructure like that to grow this. So we're not where we should be at all, right? But it's an attempt. And if these attempts can be, like you said, visible, people see, we should air golf more, talk about it more like this, so that people get interest. Even I know that there are organizations abroad who are even looking for where to put money in Africa. And of course, they like to come in when you have proved enough equity participation. So by the time they see that we have put in so much, right, then they can come in to us.
Beautiful. Now, all these things that we're saying,
you
can't separate the government from anything you want to do in Nigeria, because some you need to take permission, some you need at least encouragement and enabling environment and all of that, financial support and all of that. How has the government, the area of government, how have they really been when it comes to golf?
They have not been supportive enough. I must confess. They have not been supporting enough at all.
It's like all attention is on football.
Yes, they're not supporting enough. Anytime you try to speak to them about it, they don't see it. So I'm using this opportunity too to tell them that we need support. We need them to come, give us policy and infrastructure, so that the private sector can take advantage of it. They have not been supported enough, because if they're supportive, we won't be where we are. So this is an opportunity for them to support the game of golf and grow it. So give us, let us get lands, let us get the basic water, let's get the basic infrastructure around. Because if you give us land where there's water and where there's power, it makes it easier for the vessel to come in with the rest, to key into the rest. And if you come up driving, I know this new government, this policy to drive sports. But there's difference between an idea and implementation. We suffer a lot in implementation here. We have grand ideas.
It's not just, I don't think it's only in sport. I think in
most of the, that's why I said we have visions, but our implementation is our problem. We come up with a fantastic idea, but it's nobody driving it. Or it doesn't driving in the wrong direction. So if you're speeding in the wrong direction, you're not going to get to the destination. So we just need to implement the vision of the present government to drive sports business and make it viable for everybody.
In Nigeria now, you can't say anything about the government without talking about government policy.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So are there current policies that support the growth of golf, or maybe let's say are there gaps that needs to be addressed as we speak now? Because you are at the center, that's why I need to ask you.
Just like we're saying here, let's take my example now. The president of America plays golf, doesn't play football. You understand? And he goes to Scotland, he goes to St. Andrews, sits down there in the golf course, and another president come and see him there. That's the power of golf. You get what I mean? So if you have a playing golf at that level, there's nobody you can't reach. Because if you're talking about leaders of economy and presidents, they can be playing golf. And there's a different kind of connection you have with your fellow golfer than somebody who you're just talking to. So golf is a tool and equipment for progress. So this thing is something we need to take seriously and stop keeping in the backyard. You understand? If you are a golfer now, accessing Trump is easier. Because you have something in common to come. I watched Trump's meeting with the Governor Ramaphosa of South Africa. He sent a personal invitation to Ramaphosa and mentioned golfers that he wanted to come. And he asked him not even go there. He said it was not free. So the president was even trying to meet a golfer, and the golfer was even telling him that I'm not really free to come with you. Meanwhile, everybody wants to meet Ram, but he's trying to meet a golfer. So you can't compete. You can't rank golf with any other sport in the world. And note, this is the only game without a referee. You know what that means? We trust you to bring your scores in because you're a man of integrity. It's the only game that you are responsible for your handicap. Yes. You're responsible for your scores. We believe that when you come and hand over something, that is what it is. So when you go out to talk policy or business and you mention I'm a golfer, you're already kept at a pedestal until you prove yourself otherwise. So it's a vehicle that people are using for so many other things quietly. I hope you understand what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do understand. I do understand. So, as it is right now,
Yes.
golf doesn't. The game of golf doesn't have referee.
No, there's no referee. There's no referee in the game of golf. That is why tournaments like we initiate tournaments like the Open of Calabar tournament. If you heard of the Open of Calabar tournament, this is the 7th year or so, I mean 6th or 7th year we're having a tournament for the Open of Calabar. We went to speak to him, he understood the concept, and he gave us his brand. So in Calabar every year now, my brother is there, he holds the Open of Calabar tournament. You know, just the same way we have the
For golfers.
Yes, for golfers. Just the way we have in Warri. That the Warri King, you know, too has a brand like that for golf. So we need to use even our traditional rulers to popularize golf, because it used to be a royal game anyway. You know, so loyalty and all that, we use that to help us to push golf. So we're pushing it from all angles. We're pushing it from government, pushing it from traditional rulers, pushing it from school, keep pushing it, and the prize money is getting very high. Millions of dollars are being won there, and you know how it is now. We can be Tiger Woods is a black man, so what stops us from bringing Tiger Woods out of Nigeria?
Yes, that's a big challenge.
Yeah,
that you say. Tiger Woods is a black man. That's the man at the top there when it has to do with golf. Now, you said something very vital while we were talking about the equipment, the maintenance, and all of that, and you said there is this perception that people have about golf, that golf is expensive and you need to be rich before you become a golfer.
Yes.
What do you have to say about that? Okay. Looking at the economy of Nigeria, we are preaching the gospel of golf.
Okay. I'd like to say this. We have the Rolls Royce and we have the Toyota. It's the same thing with golf equipment. You understand? And right now with Alibaba Express, Jumia, and so many platforms now, golf equipment have become very accessible. And we have a lot of golf shops now around. It's just for you to inquire and you will find. So what I'm trying to say here, yes, we have very, very expensive Japanese golf sets, luxury golf sets, but we also have smaller or less expensive golf sets that you can use to start. So if you want to start, the first thing, anybody who wants to play golf should maybe just find his way to a golf club and inquire from the pro shop. Once you can move, the only problem, the information of golf is not as available as football or basketball, right? But if you make an attempt, right? So what we have to do is maybe provide golf information in different spaces. So
exactly what I wanted to say, because I wanted to ask, even if you need the information, where do you go to?
Yes.
Do we have spots?
Yes.
I think that would be a plus.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, well, this is going to be how much we'll be able to talk about golf today. I know you have been enlightened, and of course, well, I think we need to start planning as a nation and as a country to invest more in golf than we are even doing in football right now, because a lot of people don't know the hidden treasures in golf, just like we are getting the revelation from an expert and a professional who has been in the game for a very long time, the chairman of Golfers Association in FCT here. Many thanks for joining us on Talk Sports today.
I'd like to applaud the FCT team, the golf team, for all the medals they won this year, and our coach Larry has been wonderful. I have a very enthusiastic board members, who are working with us, and it's not been easy, but we've achieved a lot of progress. If nothing else, we have won gold severally now for FCT.
Congratulations!
Yes, and we're waiting for the minister to also reward our athletes and encourage us further, so that next year we can win more gold.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us on the program today. Well, it has been the voice of Akabom Enebong. He is the chairman FCT Golf Association. I will talk to you more all the time for developments. Let's see the outcome, of the response, how Nigerians are yielding to the golf, the game of golf subsequently. Many thanks for joining us on Talk Sports today. All right. Thank you. Well, we can't end this very Talk Sports today. We can't end this program, this show right now, without giving you a highlight of the game that was played yesterday, especially that Chelsea game. If you miss that game, this highlight is going to come on your way.